Had to get a sip of drink there. I'm sorry. It's that refresh sound you make when you get a good sip of fluid. And yeah, I know. I said I was gonna cut back on the soda. I'm drinking Mountain Dew Zero. I'm trying to cut the sugar out of my diet as much as I can. And it's like, man, I don't like unsugared tea. And like the Crystal Light drink mix, that shit just don't taste good to me. It's got a funky aftertaste. This does not, so I'll switch over to that. But that ain't what this video is about. Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast on YouTube. How's everybody doing? Oh, it's early in the morning, but I got the place myself. You recognize the skull? Hopefully by now. That's a comic video. So what I'm going to talk about now is how this is only 80s and 90s examples, but it's probably still going on. Especially in the 80s and then the 90s comic boom. You get companies that are putting out lots of reprints of old public domain comics. Horror, crime. Mostly horror. You get some crime here and there. You might get like some good girl art ones. Some smaller companies, and I got an issue of the, not this genre for them, but an issue that they done of reprints. EC Comics do stuff like westerns. But mostly it's horror. First two of these I picked up were like Seduction and Innocent, which is named after a famous book put out by Eclipse, I think. There's like 4 or 5 issues, because there's 3D and like a... It was supposed to be a 3-issue miniseries and went to like 5 issues. I grabbed them out of the cheap bins, loved them. The 3D issues got an amazing Dave Stevens like Halloween cover. Yeah. So I got hooked on this stuff. I'm like, this is kind of cool stuff. Well, then over the years I managed to collect some more. I lost all those Seductions to Innocent, and I could probably get them fairly cheap. I'm sure I'll go on like my comic shop and pay $2-3 an issue. I don't like to do that. I like to dig the shit out of the cheap bins. So this is going to be my very small right now, because I don't know where the rest of these are, collection of, you know, old Golden Age reprints and modern comics. I'm going to start off with, this was $1.75. This is Mr. Monsters Super Duper Special number 2. Mr. Monsters High Octane Horror number 1. Eclipse was doing these Mr. Monster Super Duper Specials, which was a series, and each one of them would sometimes, there was High Octane Horror, there was True Crime, there was like weirdo comics, shit like that. And there's Mr. Monster, of course. Recreated by Michael T. Gilbert. He appeared once in a Canadian comic, and that was it. In this issue, we get George Evans, Jerry Grandinetti, Basil Wolverton, and Michael T. Gilbert. And we always start off with usually, and these are recolored. This series and the next one I'm going to share are all Mr. Monster is all recolored. We always get a little 1 or 2 page theme from Michael T. Gilbert. Then this is Secret Files of Dr. Drew, which was Charlton. If I'm thinking right. I like the recoloring. Cool little horror story, great art. I don't exactly know. They'll tell me later on. They were real good about telling you if they didn't listen on the pages who did this. I say this is something, when this came out, this was probably, what, 86. I would have been 11, 12-ish. I probably would have passed this up, because for $1.75 in 86, I could buy, like, 2 comics from Marvel or DC easy. So I would have passed this up, but then, after I learned how good, because I thought all the pre-code horror shit, the only ones that were worth reading was EC, because that was the point of thought being pushed in the comic press. This stuff was considered just kind of crappy, which I never got. This, I saw Basil Wolverton one. It's The Man Who Never Smiled. Look at this art, man. There's this old man in town who just never smiled. It's good, and then you finally find out, because he's a vampire. Ah! And he attacks him. Ah! Yeah. A little thing on George Evans, who I didn't know, I didn't know his name when I read this. Basil Wolverton I knew. And this is how I introduced a bunch of old artists I learned about Mr. Monsters High Octane Horror. So that's new. This is old shit. The Metamorphosis of Glucklumlus. Art of this woman looks real familiar. And it's on good paper. I mean, it's on like Mondo paper. This one probably came from my comic shop on one of their sales. Oh, wait a minute. I've already got another. No. Okay, it's kind of a swamp creature alien thing. Okay, I thought I'd went to another story. That's a cool panel. Look at that. I like that. I'm looking like, okay, here we go. It's not an exaggeration to say our first Mr. Monster high-octane horror contains some of the best art ever done for comics. We lead off with a Jerry Grandinetti Dr. Drew story. The only 14 episodes were published. Dr. Drew is comic storytelling on its finest. His strip scenes reminiscent of Will Eisner's late 40s spirit stories. It's not by accident. Man Never Smile, Comic Master, Basil Wolverton. It's from Gilmore's Weird Mysteries number 4, 1953. It contains one of Wolverton's strangest splash pages. Our final art for issue, one of my favorite horror stories, are the Metamorphosis of Gacooms. Illustrated by EC alums George Evans. As a matter of fact, George landed his prestigious EC staff position with the art in this story. The original printing of Gacooms is in Foss's World of Fear number 3. We've got some letters. And they explain why they're doing reprints. This is kind of neat. A Dr. Drew story that they printed that popped up like this, but this is the original version. They found like some original art. See the difference? The last two panels. The next issue is going to be True Crime. Well, just so happened I had a full run of these at one time. I don't anymore. There's True Crime number 1. Look at that cover. Shooting the guy, so it's rat, and you got the gangsta mall down here. Look at this. It's like, please files every word true. $1.75, 32 pages. I like 32-page comic magazine, except Nellis. Who was the savage master of crime who fell like the rat he was before the flaming guns of the law? Who was the blonde gun moll who fought the cops all the way to protect her worthless man? Who was the relentless bloodhound of the law who pursued the murderous bandit, finally trapping him in a bloody massacre of flying lead? Mr. Monster Super Duper Special number 3. So I forgot they put that on the cover. Oh shit, okay. Alright, so we start with our introduction page. This is from September of 86, so probably July. Then we go straight into Murder, Morphine, and Me by Jack Cole. This is the infamous Needle to the Eye story that is recolored, but look, there it is. You read anything about Seduction and Innocent, you have seen that panel. Look at that. I want that on a shirt. And it's about this woman getting addicted to morphine, becoming like a gangster mall. It's so fucking good. And this is probably the first time I've read this in color. Now, I know this is recolor. The original version I read was a black and white reprint in something. And that's the cool thing about Eclipse. Eclipse was only charged on $1.75, which was a little bit more than a normal comic, but they recolored all these, they put some work into these. Demons Dance on Galloway, more the most horrible crime in history. Another Jack Cole. Now, Ollie Optics, Steve Olaf's Ollie Optics colored. This is some of their early work. A Match for Satan. This is a great one. Okay, Jack Cole. Nice article on Jack Cole, who I only knew for Blasted Man at the time. But this criminal. And so he always has like a matchstick between his lips. And ends up getting him caught, if I'm remembering, yeah. And then he gets electrocuted like in the editorial course. That's all Jack Cole issue. Alien Encounters, man. True Crime Book 2 will be the next one, yep. Tales of Terror. Oh, did I not show this? Marvel's 25th anniversary. What about Jack? Paid for by friends of Jack Kirby. Yeah. They did good use of their back covers. Okay. Another Mr. Monster. You know what? I'm going to break this up here. I'm going to make this a second video after this one. This is going to be a two-parter. This is True Crime number 2, which is super special number 4, $1.75. Last of the Rats. True Crime Comics will pay you $100 reward for information leading to the capture of James Kent, crook, murderer, escaped convict. See details inside Jack Cole cover. And we get, another, Michael T. Gilbert page. Then we start with Meet the Split Benny Dixon. Public Enemy #1, Crush Crime. Benny the Beast, Benny the Bar. Jack Cole just had such great artwork. And there is a chance if I could talk around with it, I might end up owning a Jack Cole Plastic Man from the Golden Age. The local comic shop has one. They got it priced roughly at guide for the shape it's in. And I'm going to see if I can talk them down a little bit. I don't want to pay for it. Rather pay about 10 to 15 bucks less than that. Man, this is some great art, man. Oh, I love this shit at the bottom. Letters, opinions, suggestions. Put your 3 cents worth. Drop us a line today. The honest way is the only way. Flash, former heavyweight boxing champion, Max Schmeling is recently sentenced to term imprisonment for violating the House of Regulations in Hamburg, Germany. True. No professional musician has ever served a term in Sing Sing prison. So you get these cool little facts at the bottom. You get this great Jack Cole art. Odd laws on this. Unlawful for 2 families to use the same garbage can in Huntington, West Virginia. Odd laws of the land. It is illegal for more than 2 dogs to gather on any private property at once in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Maggie, you can't hang out with more than another woman or a puppy. Vengeance of the Mountie. You get a Max Allen Collins thing on Crime Comics. Comic Fantasy's best known for doing Miss Tree, the private detective lady, Miss Tree. And he did Dick Tracy in the comic strips for a long time. I haven't looked at this issue in a while. Hunter Luger. I don't remember ever seeing this, but that don't mean shit. I mean, it's Bruce Jones, Bo Hampton, Tom Yates, another Jack Cole. This is the one on the cover. $100 reward for James Kent. Tutorial. Some more art and letters. The back issue. The Rocketeer. I'm watching a documentary on Rick Stevens right now, so I'm learning about the Boston's bloody gang something. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. And that's just the Eclipse color ones I have. The next video is going to be all horror. It's going to be all 90s. And it's going to be black and white, sadly. And they cost more. Well, they didn't cost me more, but their cover price is more, and it probably cost you a little more. I don't know. The Mr. Monsters might have went up in value. I've not looked those up in forever. I did look up well, it's 4 comics actually. 3 of the 4 that's in this next stack, and they're $2 to $3 a pop, so they're a little bit overcovered. But hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, what are some? If you're ready, nowadays you just get scans. I know, and I like the scans. I have a bunch of those. I keep various like horror and stuff like that on my tablet and on my computer at all times. I have something to read if I want something to read. And they're legal free scans, so grab them. These reprints, I enjoy having a physical copy. So any of y'all read any of the old shit, any of the old horror, the true crime, the whatever, even the funny animal stuff, I'll read any of it. Alright, talk to everybody later. Bye-bye. Latest.